Tonight, Eddie Murphy's Hollywood evolution.
If things work out with my career, I intend to be around for a long time.
From his start as a stand-up comic to his days as an SNL star. Plus his big screen success.
I have more friends for some strange reason.
We opened the ET Vault, revealing 5 decades worth of never-before-seen interviews.
They really came close to firing me.
Set visits.
Bang, bang, bang!
And stories.
Most of the album was done right in this very room.
What you never knew about Eddie's classic characters.
I brought a little soul brother to it.
And his most favorite roles of all time.
Miles was trying to sabotage the interview.
Entertainment Tonight presents
Eddie, Hercules.
ET Vault Unlocked Eddie Murphy.
And I have to tell you, it's dynamite.
He's kept us in a delirious state for 5 decades now. Eddie Murphy, this is your life. Welcome to Entertainment Tonight.
Look, a comedy king and a Hollywood icon. No one has spent more time with Eddie, the industry trailblazer.
They're loving you, Mr. Man. The fans are loving you.
So nice.
Does Eddie Murphy have that much confidence in himself?
Oh yeah, I've always been a really confident guy. Even if we crash and burn, I've mastered the art of walking away from the train wreck confidently.
Sexual chocolate.
I have a lot of catchphrases from movies. It's almost like hooks on records.
That's true.
So people come up and say sexual chocolate, and they say Hercules.
Oh, Hercules.
So a lot of people come and say different things.
That's because the 63-year-old is widely considered one of the best comedians of all time. That's thanks to his esteemed body of work, which includes stand-up, sketch, and over 40 films spanning over 5 decades. And superfans rejoice. July 3rd, after 30 years, Eddie is bringing back the iconic Axel Foley for Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F.
I'm gonna be fine. They love me in Beverly Hills.
Eddie, people wait a long time for this. Can you tell us anything about where he is in his life or what's happening?
Well, he does have the jacket still. I didn't want to have the jacket. No, but they was like, you gotta have the jacket. I was like, so it's 30 years and he's still wearing the same jacket? They wanted me to have my hair the same way. The director was like, can you get your hair just like that? Like when I was 22? No. Who is this?
Entertainment Tonight.
Oh, really? It's gonna be on the same thing?
Can you believe E.T. first met Eddie at his 21st birthday party back in 1982?
Did you ever think you'd make it to 21?
Yes, and I have, and it's nice, and thank you for congratulating me. And according to my managers and the way everything's happening, I should have a good year this year. I have nicer clothes now and more friends for some strange reason. And be like, hey, I'm your friend now. And I make the people laugh, and it's fun.
The box office success of his films, which also include Coming to America, Shrek, The Nutty Professor, and his Oscar-nominated performance in Dreamgirls, have brought in more than $5 billion worldwide.
I'm always working, baby.
I've done a lot of different types of things, and in movies I've played everybody from a donkey to a little old Jewish man.
Get out of here.
Everything in between.
Not bad for a kid from Brooklyn who, for a year, lived in foster care while his beloved single mother Lillian was ill. In 1993, Eddie revealed she displays all his awards, which now include an Emmy, Grammy, Golden Globe, and a SAG award.
My mother has most of my stuff. She has my Grammy, and the plate fell off. This is my baby's Grammy. People go, ain't nobody's name on it. We know whose Grammy that is.
And Eddie's name is on the lips of a slew of stars whose careers he has influenced.
Hi. Well, I think Eddie is, I think an all-time favorite. Everybody's. He's sort of the king of comedy.
Now, where'd that come from?
I don't know. Where did that come from? Who said that?
I think you said it.
I seem to learn something from him every time I work with him, you know what I mean? And I learn something for the better, positively. I do.
I'm open my own comedy school.
The cloud's coming up.
Don't hurt me now.
He kind of was something that I'd never seen before. Eddie was probably amongst the best, and I don't know that that will ever happen again, what he was and what he is.
I do go out of my way to help black people, It's a responsibility that I'm happy to take on because I'm a black man and you're supposed to look out for yours. And
Anybody that says that's wrong is a fool.
But Eddie's biggest fans, his mom Lillian and his late older brother Charlie.
He's a determined child. He really is. Always has been.
The first time Eddie went on stage, he wasn't doing comedy. It was a talent show. Eddie used to do impressions.
Hi, my name is Mr. T.
My brother was 13, he did 99 distinct impressions.
I always did voices, always did impressions and stuff. And it got to where I was never talking in my own voice. And my mother was like, well, who are you?
When he first showed interest, I didn't encourage him. If anything, I discouraged him. I said, well, gee whiz, this is what he really wants to do, and what if he doesn't make it? What, will I have a bum here? You know, I really worried because he wasn't interested in anything else.
Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby, George Carlin, all those guys were really big influences, inspired me when I was young.
See my brother on stage and see the audience responding to him, the way they responded, girls screaming and all that. It made me start screaming. I jumped up, I was like, hey, that's my brother, that's my brother. You know, I was charged up, and I'll never forget that feeling.
At the age of 19, Eddie earned his shot at SNL after begging a producer for an audition.
He had to go down a couple of times, at least 3, maybe even 4 times for a tryout for that show. I was positive he would make it.
I am dark and you are light.
You are blind as a bat, and I have sight.
I remember the first time I did Saturday Night Live. Man, I was so happy to be on TV. I remember I didn't take my makeup off. I just rode home on the train to Long Island Railroad with my makeup because I thought people would see me and know I was on TV.
He quickly established himself as the fledgling show's star with characters like Mr. Robinson, Gumby, and Buckwheat.
Oh, back then I was bugged, man. I thought I was, you know, the hottest thing since the Spoon back then. And I would talk about I was going to be the Beatles of comedy.
Listen, Eddie certainly didn't lack confidence when E.T. joined him at his 21st birthday party.
Things work out with my career. I intend to be around for a long time.
Less than 2 years after SNL put him on the map, the movie offers started rolling in.
Did you ever dream that you would make it to the big silver screen?
It was more than it was a plan.
You know what I am? I'm your worst nightmare, man. It's 48 Hours to the Jacket with Nick Nolte. Well, I do some funny things in the movie, but it's, for all intents and purposes, it's a serious movie. You know, from being associated with Saturday Night Live, the public, quite naturally, is, you know, they're expecting you to do a comedy the first movie that you do.
Behind the scenes, it was a bunch of, hey, he's not funny, and they really came close to firing me.
But there was a warm reception to his more serious side. Eddie's big screen debut became one of the best performing films of 1982. It earned Eddie his first Golden Globe nomination and transformed him into an A-lister.
Were you surprised at the success of 48 Hours?
I was surprised so many people went out to see 48 Hours. It felt real good.
Did you have as much fun doing Trading Places as it looked like you had?
You know what it is? Aykroyd and Jamie was so much fun to work with. It's just, it was like a party. I looked forward to going to the set because we were having fun, always. And when the camera wasn't rolling, I was somewhere laughing.
It was 1983 when Eddie teamed up with fellow SNL alum Dan Aykroyd for his second film, Trading Places, which earned over $120 million worldwide. 4 months later, he set a new standard in comedy with his first ever stand-up special, Delirious.
There's some really, really funny stuff in it, some groundbreaking stuff in it.
If I were LeBron James, he'd be the Michael Jordan poster on my wall. Like, it kind of was something that I'd never seen before.
After my dad died, my mom tried pretty much everything she could do to cheer me up. I remember one day when I was 8, she got me what she thought was a Disney movie, but it was actually the Eddie Murphy stand-up special, Delirious. She tried to take it away, but then she noticed something. For the first time in a long time, I was laughing again.
He made comedy sexy. You matter of fact, he taught me fearlessness, so I'm gonna let it hang out tonight.
No, it's hilarious. There's two things you remember. I mean, you remember the jokes and you remember that leather suit you wore. It had to be hot.
That suit wasn't that hot. No? Nah, I didn't have no shirt on and no drawers. I'm just playing. Oh, I tell you, man, I wish I'd have wore some other suit. I took so much for that suit over the years.
Hey, but you know, back then I could get away with it. You know,
Yeah.
that's moving around.
Right.
I'm like 20 years old with a ring on the outside of my glove. And it's a mess.
Do you want to be a millionaire?
Oh, yes.
How about $14 million? That's how much Eddie was reportedly paid for Beverly Hills Cop, which premiered in 1984, the same year he left SNL to focus on film. E.T. was on the set.
Bang, bang, bang!
The #1 headliner. Does that put a little pressure on you?
No. I'm totally confident in this movie.
Well, after 13 consecutive weeks atop the box office, a franchise was born.
I don't even know if I'll do that again. That movie is a freak, you know? It's like a thriller. Movies don't make $230 million, usually.
But get this, Eddie wasn't the first choice to play Axel Foley.
This particular film was originally designed for someone else, Sylvester Stallone.
Sly made it all action. And so we want to do an action comedy. So Sly said, well, then I don't want to do it. And I read the original script, and action comedy is fine with me. And because the character was originally written for a white guy. So I brought a little soul brother to it.
We want only Axel to be in good movies so he could just keep going and going like Indiana Jones or James Bond.
His follow-up? Another fish-out-of-water phenomenon that officially made Eddie the box office king of the 80s.
Good morning, my neighbors!
Which one of your characters do you get the most that people come to ask you about?
Not characters, movie, Coming to America.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, for some reason that movie worked its way into the culture to where it's like, you know, everybody has seen it and it's always on television and lines from the movie.
Your queen to be.
You want me to renounce my throne? I will.
From this moment on, I renounce my throne.
No other movie like that one.
Are you saying that no matter what I tell you to do, you will do?
Yes, Your Highness.
Bark like a dog.
I was originally planning to direct it. What made me change my mind was the idea when I thought about casting the film. I couldn't picture myself directing James Earl Jones.
Is something troubling you, my son?
This, I think, is the best movie I've done as an actor.
Oh, I can be loose. See?
I pulled a love story off, and the different characters.
Pound for pound, Sugar Ray Robinson, the greatest fighter ever lived. Oh, come on, man. What about Joe Louis? The Blonde Bomber.
I called up some writers that used to write with me on Saturday Night Live, and myself, Arsenio, sat down with tape recorders for about 3 days, and literally we sat down and just acted the movie, scene by scene. We had always planned from the beginning to do multiple characters.
Yep, not one, not two, but 8 different characters between Eddie and co-star Arsenio Hall.
I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band, Sexual Chocolate.
I'm Eddie Murphy.
The old white man in the movie,
What is that, velvet?
that blew me away when I saw it. That freaked me out. I think it would be so cool to do character acting and like have the credits roll and have someone and people go, that was Eddie Murphy? You know, I would like to do stuff like that in the future, yeah.
And he did. By 1996, the multi-character movie officially became an Eddie Murphy signature with The Nutty Professor.
How many characters do you play in this movie?
7.
He re-teamed with his Coming to America makeup wizard Rick Baker to bring the Klump family to life. The transformations were Oscar-winning, but believe it or not, the studio almost shut them down.
I had to do separate makeup tests. I went and did like a video thing where we edited it all. We had to convince him that we best stuff. I did all the stuff.
I've always wanted to be an actress.
Are they based on anybody in your life?
Sherman's mother, she has some of the grandma-isms that my grandmother has. Everything is so fabulous and wonderful. That's how my grandmother is. She's always clapping, Eddie. And she's watching right now, sitting home, Eddie, Eddie, Hercules, Hercules. People like the grandmother. Her voice is Mom's Mabley's voice. Just blatant, straight rip-off.
Come on, Cleve. Come on. You walk over, but you're limping back. Yeah!
How long did it take for you to become Sherman?
4 or 5 hours every day. I remember Steve Martin came by the set and he was like, are those your teeth?
And I was like, yeah, those are my teeth. And he was like, is that your nose? I was like, yeah, it's my.
Where's Oprah? Oh, they told me that I was going to do the interview with Oprah.
Talk about staying in character. For the sequel, E.T. got up close and personal with two of Eddie's alter egos.
In this film, it's all about Sherman marrying the right girl. Bless his soul.
Oh yeah, I got a new love in this movie.
Sherman, you're very special to me.
Really?
That love interest? Miss Jackson. E.T. was on set with Janet in 1999.
Ready? Roll sound.
Parker?
And action.
How badly did you want the role?
I wanted it.
She was able to make you believe that this woman fell in love with Sherman.
I get a big old screen kiss with Miss Jackson, and I have to tell you, it's dynamite. Pure dynamite.
When you were making the movie, did you have any idea that it was something special?
Yeah, I knew we were doing something different, and I knew we were doing something funny.
People come up to me on the street and go, Hercules, Hercules, like having a hit record. I should have put that out instead of my old album. I'd be sitting here with a Grammy now.
Ah, yeah.
I can't. Eddie Murphy's 1985 Jam Party All the Time peaked at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and stayed there for 3 weeks.
What I love is we even got a cameo from Rick James,
Sure
who wrote
did.
and produced the hit. So while comedy paid the bills, clearly music was Eddie's passion.
I started out in a band when I was 15 years old before I did comedy.
I've been nurturing my musical talents and finally just said, well, let me just dive into it.
Do you feel you've got something to prove with the music arena?
Absolutely not. The worst thing that could possibly happen is they don't like it. But I like it, you know, and I do it for me.
In the 80s and early 90s, Eddie indulged his inner pop star, collaborating with music's biggest names, Stevie Wonder, Paul McCartney, Bon Jovi, and more, to release 3 full-length studio albums. Before the final one dropped in 1993, E.T. was invited inside Eddie's home studio in New Jersey.
Hollywood.
This is where you actually recorded a lot of tracks for Love's Alright.
Most of the album was done right in this very room. We had everyone in the studio from Garth Brooks to Heavy D.
Yes, the king of pop even made a cameo.
It all happened like coincidentally, like Michael called me up and asked me to be in his video. Remember the time. And I said, okay, but will you sing on 2 of my songs? And he said, okay. If you listen to my music, you can tell I listen to the Beatles, and you can tell I listen to Sly, you can tell I listen to Prince.
Yes, the Purple One's influence was all over this single. E.T. was on set of the music video in 1989.
Put Your Mouth on Me, that's a provocative title.
The thing not to do is to come to it completely serious. If I went out and sang a song, was crawling around the stage with a mean look on my face and kicking my foot out, then people would go like, Eddie has clearly lost his mind. My art, ultimately, I'm doing it because I love doing it. Cats like Hendrix and John Lennon, they had never gotten famous. They'd still have been, artists, And that's what I'm trying to be. My art and my family, that can't be taken away from me.
Your daughter is dating Eddie Murphy's son. I mean, if they're to get married, you're not going to pay for that wedding, are you? I mean, Eddie has to pay for it, right?
I'm going to try to get Eddie to pay for it.
You got to get Eddie to pay for it.
Martin's like, big bank takes little bank. That's
Hello.
right. Martin Lawrence's daughter, Jasmine, is all booed up with Eric Murphy. The two went Instagram official in 2021 and been going strong ever since.
Listen, the holidays are already a full house
Yes,
at the
indeed.
Murphys' crib because, in case you didn't know, Eddie is the father of 10.
Well, you know. I'm a very potent man.
Let's break it down. Eddie has 6 daughters and 4 sons with 5 different women, including Spice Girl Mel B, his ex-wife of 13 years, Nicole Murphy, and his fiancée, Paige Butcher. And get this, his youngest, born in 2018, is only 7 months older than his only grandchild.
She's amazing. Really eat. Papa, she's gonna be Papa.
Oh, that's nice. I got my head together now, and I spend my life in constant bliss.
We watched Eddie's children grow up in front of E.T.'s cameras.
You start out young in this family.
Mother's
trying to sabotage the interview.
Is Dad cool?
Beyond.
Oh, that's a great answer.
There's no question, Eddie's favorite role is Dad.
My kids are a constant source of entertainment around the house. They just doing kid things, you know. They make me laugh all the time. I had some of my hardest laughs at the house. My daughter does voices. She's a little character, and my son looks exactly like me. He looks like a little tiny me, a little mean me. You know, when you're a kid, you have a kid, you become like a waiter. It's like, pick me up, give me that, I want a drink, I want a juice box. No, not that one. Give me that. You go, get me that. Where's mommy? What? Where's mommy? You don't know where mommy is? Ah! Fatherhood. I'm really fun around the house with my kids. My little voices that I do and all that little stuff. Like my little 3-year-old, as soon as I walk in the house, I want you to talk like the giant. That's the most gratifying thing for me in life, is to just be able to have the downtime, you know, and just be around family. We've been traveling all together, and my kids are homeschooled, and we're kind of like a little traveling circus that comes into town. And when I'm working, my whole family comes with me, so I'm never away from my family. And I wouldn't be productive if I didn't have my unit with me.
But we learned there's one thing this daddy doesn't do.
I've never changed a diaper. I don't sit here and lie and say I do, but I don't do a lot of diaper. And be smiling and pee right at you. It's straight stream. You had to.
Come on! No!
Oh, I do my best acting at home. At home, I'm not a comic. At home, I'm the dramatic actor. It's like I could come in and make a face, and the lights would go different. The spotlight would hit me, and I should get in the room.
But his kids keep him humble.
That Remember the Time video, we play that video. She goes, "Fast forward to Michael." I said, "See, Daddy? To Michael." Now, if I let it play, she'll go, "No!" My kids are not, you know, like, waiting for the next Eddie Murphy movie. It's not like that.
It's a false alarm.
My youngest ones, they'll watch my family movies, like they throw in Dr. Dolittle or Mulan or the first Shrek, and watch that stuff over and over and over again.
In the morning, I'm making waffles.
Yeah, Shrek was the first animated franchise to hit the $1 billion mark. Today, there's even talk of a reboot, plus a donkey spin-off.
Will the donkey be back in Shrek 3?
Oh yeah, if they'll have me, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll do Shreks too. I'm gonna do Shreks until y'all say, you know what, that's enough damn Shrek. I mean, how much Shrek can a person take?
But by the mid-2000s, Eddie hit some major turbulence, a string of disappointments at the box office, and a public split.
Yeah, I had a really emotional year. I got divorced and went through all of that, but now it's all wonderful. My kids are great, and I'm cool with my ex-wife.
I'm always confident, even if we crash and burn. Even I've mastered the art of walking away from the train wreck confidently. Saying, "Were you in that plane crash?" Yeah, I was. What's next?
What's next? How about a SAG Award, a Golden Globe, and an Oscar nomination?
Well, you know, it's a whole new day, Marty. Brand new Jimmy.
For his second act, Eddie took a pay cut to play soul crooner James Early in the big screen adaptation of Dreamgirls in 2006. Those moves were all his, so were the vocals.
But it's always real, so real. Always so real. When you're coming down.
I was scared. It was like, wow, this is uncharted territory. I've never done anything like this. I never sang in character like that before. And then, more than anything, it was the dancing. Because if I go to a club or something, I don't dance, stand in the corner. And that had me horrified.
To prepare for this movie, I watched a bunch of stuff from James Brown tapes and Otis Redding and Jackie Wilson. And
with this success in a musical, is there any chance we'll see you resuming your recording career?
Oh no, that's pretty much dead.
At the time, the $75 million budget was the highest ever for film with an all-black cast that included Beyoncé, Jennifer Hudson, and Jamie Foxx.
I heard that you actually signed on because you were excited once Eddie Murphy was signed.
Say, hey, you know what? I don't care if it's $1.50, man. I want to be a part of that.
Eddie was an awards contender again in 2019, starring in the biopic Dolomite Is My Name.
You want to know who I am? I'm Dolomite.
This movie is about a guy that believed in himself, and paid for his movies out of his pocket. I kind of developed it from the beginning.
I've been trying to get it done for 16 years, and then for it to be received like this, it's just a great feeling.
So how much longer are you in this for? Movie making?
I could sit on this couch and not ever get off, and I'd be fine with that. But I was like, Dolomite came together, then Coming to America came together, then Beverly Hills Cop came together. I was like, so let me go and host Saturday Night Live.
Eddie Murphy!
Yep, in 2019, Eddie returned to Studio 8H for the first time since he left in 1984. The guest hosting gig earned him an Emmy.
It was fun, and it was surreal, and I loved it.
Would you go back and host again?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to going back. Okay, this is a great way to kind of bookend my thing, in case I never want to get off this couch except to just do stand-up.
We ask you this every time, but when are you coming back to the stage?
I had planned to do stand-up right before the pandemic hit. That's still the plan, to do stand-up.
I think, you can really cap it off is when I'm like 90 and they give me an honorary Academy Award. I can come out on the stage. That's my big finish.
Back then, if you watched a Sidney Poitier movie, his hair is not combed. That's how good an actor he was. He just acted like his hair was combed.
That man is a fool.
Just leave it to Eddie Murphy to turn his Griot Icon Award speech into a stand-up joke.
Yes, we leave you now with more of Eddie Unfiltered. Good night, everybody.
One little Oscar confession.
I don't have on no drawers. I have no drawers on the red carpet.
Hey, there's no business like show business. I play guys that talk fast and loud and talk a lot of I'm not like that.
Will you be in the new Haunted Mansion?
Well, I did a Haunted Mansion movie, and it wasn't very good. So I don't know if they want to bring the old baggage and have me stinking up the new one.
If you could go back, is there anything that you would do differently?
No. No, what? I'd have passed on Pluto Nash. That's it.
Everybody loves you.
Not everybody, but this is nice. There's some Klansmen sitting home going, oh, left for him. But other than that, I'm real happy. This is nice.
What do you want people to remember about you?
Oh, just that I was funny. I made, people laugh for a long, long time. If I get that, I'm a happy one.